Hello, everybody. Bowser, I think I'm doing this on Trishade. Trishade's back with Ambre, a Heart Breaking Kinetic Novel. Let's start, shall we? He wanted to hold her so tightly that her sadness wouldn't melt away. But at the same time, a voice within was telling him that he shouldn't be too forceful. That he should be aware of her vulnerability. That is exactly what I said. So he tried to stay composed and look reassuring. He tried to stay composed. And look reassuring. Yet in front of this sad little girl, he did not feel confident at all. Are you all alone? Where are your mommy and daddy? The little girl says, I don't know. Do you live far away from here? The little girl says, I don't know. What's your name? Amber, the little girl says. Well, Amber, you can't stay here out in the wind. You're going to catch a cold eventually. And you don't want to get sick, do you? No, I hate being sick, Amber says. See? You've got to warm yourself up. Somewhere, it'll be night soon. But I don't know where to go, Amber says. In that case, what do you think about going to my place? It's not far away from here, and it'll be a much better place to sleep than swing. I must move my face again. Amber seemed wary, but she had no other choice but to follow him. He gently reached a hand to her, and for the first time she lifted her eyes. They were washed out, blurry with tears, and hesitant. He thought it a good idea to force a smile to appear reassuring. Even with the fatigue, Tristan Mallory showed the most convincing smile he could and took her hand. So fine, so frail. To help her get to her feet. The young girl's steps were wobbly and weak. She had probably not eaten all day long. This is really good poetic flow. The art, a little odd in my opinion, but the textures are really good. Like the structure of the art, like the lines are a little odd to me, but the textures are very nice. Excuse me again. I'm just burping up a storm. Excuse me. Carefully, he led her to his place while making sure she wouldn't trip. Gotta move my face again. The man removed his coat and shut the door behind him. Make yourself at home. I'll cook you something. Oh, come on with this. Passing through the kitchen, he turned out the light in the living room so that his flat wouldn't look less gloomy. While searching his fridge for a potential meal, he periodically stole several glances over the counter. In the living room, Amber was still walking around, a bit wild, still on the defense. Still on the defensive, my bad. She explored the new environment by looking around, admiring the ornaments. Unfortunately, she didn't find much to perk. I want to say that's perk her interest, because that's a propositional phrase, I believe. Perk her interest. I think. I could definitely be wrong about that, because it's been like 7 years since I even knew what that was to begin with. Sorry if I got that wrong. Definitely a guess. I used context clues. That's probably what I meant. It was a bland house. Almost too bland. There were no clues about its occupants' lives. I assume he lived by himself. Taking advantage of Tristan's being distracted by a packet of noodles, she escaped to the hallway and tried to find the bathroom. She found it quickly enough, but before returning to the hallway, she noticed that all the doors were wide open except for one. Strangely, before she even had time to think about it, she was drawn to that doorway. Intrigued, Amber felt magnetically attracted by the slightly open door. Just one peek was all she wanted, but she struggled to see anything through the crack. Was this Bluebeard's cabinet a frightening tomb where Tristan Mallory stored the corpses of his former wives? That was a huge jump. The little girl pushed the door open, entered the room, and switched on the light. Okay, who's thinking that he's killing his wives? Because if it's the little girl, then this story is fucking crazy, okay? Ugh. It says I'm already 17% done with the achievements, which is strange to me because there's like 4 or 5 achievements. So this is a very weird book. I don't remember what the age restriction on this was. I probably should have looked at that before I did it, but I don't think it's going to get too crazy. It was a bedroom filled with plush toys and soft cushions. A big bed was proudly displayed in the center of the room, accompanied by a pretty dressing table to one side. The walls were painted to look like a bright blue sky. The storage furniture, coordinated with the sweet colors of trinkets, was overflowing with mysteries. On the nightstand, she could catch a glimpse of a nightlight, shaped like a cute mascot. There was a fairy-like ambience about the strange room, to the extent that Amber couldn't repress a little exclamation of surprise. Closing the door so that the 30-year-old wouldn't discover her hiding spot, she stretched out on the colorful bed, rolled into a ball, and jumped about. and snuck under the bed sheets. Inexplicably, I think, she felt at ease in this room worthy of a princess. It seemed to have been built for her, to correspond to her every fantasy. This is really, really, really creepy. She then approached a big teddy bear, which was tempting her. She grabbed it immediately, hugged it, and covered it with kisses. Her pale face was illuminated by a wide, pure, innocent smile. A child's smile. Move my face again. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Tristan had finished cooking the noodles and was about to serve the meal when he noticed the absence of the little girl. Slightly worried, he called for her. Okay, this narrator. Okay, why are you narrating? This is me being constructive about the story. Why are you narrating in, like, the top screen and narrating in the bottom screen? I don't get that. I don't see any point in changing it. It's almost confusing because I think someone is actually saying it. Amber, are you here? Nervous, he looked for her in all the rooms, checking first to see if she was in the bedroom. He searched everywhere in the house until there were only the front door. Makes a lot of noise. What? That didn't make any sense to me. Anyways, the front door makes a lot of noise when it's opened, so I wouldn't have heard it if she had left. Could she actually be in there already? Oh, well, that's adorable. With a contrite sigh, he headed towards the fully lit, forbidden room and discovered Amber playing with stuffed animals. His gaze softened. I suppose that I can't do anything, he assured himself. Without a word, he went to sit next to her. On the bed, the little girl was moving the stuffed animals' hands while making them speak. In her weak voice, she was narrating a stuffed animal tea party and seemed to be enjoying herself very much. The light was back in her eyes. Suddenly, she got mad at the plump cow and scolded her harshly. It's dirty, stop it right now, you're making a mess, Amber says. Amber continues to say, Allie, what did you just say? It's dirty. You've got to behave yourself. Oh yeah, this is weird. This is really weird. I'm gonna tell you that right now, this is a very weird book, and I'm very interested. Because it's just, I'm not sure if it's just me thinking it's weird, or if it's actually weird, and that's why I'm interested. Don't roll on the floor. You shouldn't make a fuss just because you didn't get what you wanted. As punishment, she sent the cow to the corner, while ordering her not to move and replace it with a pony with long eyelashes. The stuffed animal tea party hosted by the blue monkey was obviously not going as planned. Tristan explained to the little girl every move with care. She finally noticed his presence. He felt he had to speak. Okay, I have to end this here, because we're about to run out of time. So, later days, everyone. Goodbye.